7 a.m. here in Essex, Maryland, as volunteers start the line up to begin a long day of work cleaning up the back river, a restoration effort started 3 years ago by the community. Many of the volunteers and families have lived here their entire lives. They seem to all share with us the similar stories about how they're tired of seeing all the debris flowing right into their backyards and want to take action to fix it. Here's what they had to say.
How'd you come to be here today?
Actually, a very good friend of mine, Mr. Larry Ferranetti, who is actually a neighbor of mine. We've talked about this project a number of times, and anyway, I'm a longtime resident of Harford County, but moved down here actually January of this year. Built a home in Hyde Park, close to the river, and I wanted to be part of this. I've been fishing and hunting all my life, and I know what it's like to go behind people and pick up their trash. I do a lot of trout fishing, and all the time you go trout fishing, you see people that leave their lunches and their stuff, their cups, bait cups and all that crap. So anyway, to make a long story short, it's a good effort, so it's a good cause and it's good exercise.
Been on this river, like I said, all my life. I grew up on this river, downriver a bit, and I've been a supporter of it, been advocating for it ever since I can remember. Been bow fishing out here since back in the 80s, so when I get out here fishing with my bow and arrow, I can get to enjoy our efforts today by not bumping into tires all the time. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, I belong to the organization. I'm vice president, and I live on the river, so I've been involved with the organization almost since its beginning.
And what do you guys hope to accomplish today?
Hopefully, see maybe 200 volunteers out here today, and maybe get another 6 to 8 dumpsters load of trash back out of the river.
People, once it starts affecting them, it will be too late, but that's when they'll start doing something about it, and these people all see how polluted it really is, and other people don't really check for it. They ignore it, and well, us doing a good job at cleaning it up will eliminate not having a good bay in the future.
Thank you for coming out today. My name is Brian Shupp. You probably get emails from me or have seen postings on the web for the Back River Restoration Committee. We're going to do a couple different things today. We got a little bit of a high tide right now, but as it starts to head out, we'll move out to the flats. Johnny O is going to go over the other side. We got a lot of shoreline work. For volunteers that are going to follow him over to that side, we have waders that are available from Deprum, okay, or hip boots. You're going to need those. It'll be a lot of plastic bottle work, a lot of shoreline stuff, all right, for people thinking about doing that kind of work today. For people thinking about doing some heavy lifting or getting in boats, we're going to be working these two shorelines here. We piled up over 250 tires already down at the bottom here. That's what the crane's going to use to bring up. So we're going to need people up here to help stack the tires or take them off the bed, and then also put them in the device when it's over the hill. Also, the two shorelines are filled with a lot of debris and wood. We'll also need some people to pick that kind of stuff up. So for heavy lifters, if you could work these two shorelines, anybody that's going to work bottles and some other debris that's on the other side, follow Johnny over. Make sure you get some hip boots, get some gloves, and then we'll fill the stuff up and we'll see you back here.
As the morning continues on, the volunteers begin to haul the tires they have gathered off the shoreline and place them up onto the road, where trucks are waiting to be loaded up and take them to the dump. Meanwhile, on the other side of the river, the volunteers are feverishly working, trying to clear out fallen brush and debris that is piled up in the inlets. We checked in with some of the volunteers to get their thoughts and opinions on what they were finding and how things were progressing.
Having another successful day here on Back River. It's an ongoing process that's going to take some time. We've had a lot of bottles and debris cleaned up along the shoreline, and as long as we continue to keep doing it a little at a time, keep getting more people involved, knowing the importance of Back River to the communities, to businesses, and to recreation, I think people will realize that we have to save it and we have to do whatever we can to clean it and maintain the quality of life in Back River.
I mean, you sit down on your dock and all you see is trash floating by and you can't really do anything about it from the dock, but it's good to come out and like clean up the river so and you know you're helping the environment.
At approximately 11:30 a.m., Governor Martin O'Malley arrives at Back River to thank the volunteers for their hard work and talk about the importance of community efforts such as this in cleaning up our rivers and streams.
So often people think the bay is the dead zone.
Right.
The bay isn't the dead zone. It's all the rivers. If we each took control of our own individual streams and rivers and made it better, you'd get to a point where a majority of all the streams and rivers are getting a little healthier every year, and then the dead zone in the middle would go away. Yeah. You can't go and plant a big easy button in the middle of the dead zone and somehow think with all the money in the world you're going to clean up the bay by some technological fix or aerator in the middle of the dead zone. It's about cleaning up all of the rivers, and once that happens, I mean, 4 of them are actually healthier and been getting healthier every year, the James and the Elizabeth, and then the Gunpowder and the Bush. But if we could get to a point where each one, we got to get each stream and each river to a tipping point of a little healthier every year. I wanted to be here today because the people of this community have really embraced their own responsibility and the power they have to clean up their piece of the Chesapeake Bay. The bay is never going to become healthier every year until all of her rivers and streams are becoming healthier. And that requires communities, whether it's Essex or Middle River, or every community that has the privilege of being near the water also has the power to help clean up our waters. And I just really wanted to come out here. Councilman Olszewski had told me how many people are involved and the passion that the folks have here for the work that they're doing and the impact that they're making. So that's why I wanted to come out today.
Is there anything like the state is doing to help out?
Yeah, we're doing a ton of stuff. We're doing many of the things much better than we ever have. The dollars that we're investing together in cleaning up our water and wastewater treatment plants, the good things that farmers are doing to expand cover crops and use better management practices to reduce nitrogen flowing off of farms into the bay, the things that some really forward-looking builders and developers are doing to make sure that they have zero impact in terms of stormwater runoff into the bay and our streams and the tributaries. All of these things, including reduction of energy usage and new renewables, they all point to the urgent need that we have to get ahead of the catastrophe that would wipe out crabs and fish and other living things in this bay if we don't change the way that we interact and connect to it. So it's about embracing the connections we have to this water, and it's about embracing the connections we have to one another.
As the cleanup wound down, we checked in with the volunteers one last time to get a progress report and find out about future events.
Right now we're trying to work on the shore, trying to get all the trash up as much as out of the water as we can. A lot of it is filtering down through the woods off the shore into the water, which makes the big problem. So you kind of stop it here at the shore before it gets into the water. If it was summertime, we could get into the water a little bit more because it's winter. You can only go so far out there with waders on. You can get out there a little bit more, but if we stop it here, it stops its way from making down into the water. So I think that's going to be the big concern coming through here. As far as like right on the shore, whatever we can get, I mean, it's looking clean from where we just started in the past 2 hours has really made a huge difference. So I guess the main goal is to keep working our way up the shore, trying to keep everything from down on the ground washing out. Whenever we have storms, that's a big problem. Everything gets pushed in the water. People might dump back here thinking it's not going to affect our waterways. They're not dumping in the water, but what happens is it rains from the water coming in, it pulls it right back out into the water and creates a problem. So I know that's going to be our main focus right now, is actually getting it all up in here so it don't move back out into the water.
Mud flats that we cleaned up last time, we were out there yesterday at a very low tide and there was nothing there. There were no tires, there was no trash, so it didn't come back. What we got, the 300 tires that we pulled out so far are from the area beyond the mud flats because it was a very low tide. So it's been great.
We are making a difference.
Absolutely making a huge difference.
Here's what you can do. You can go to our website at www.savebackriver.org. and there'll be a fair amount of information about our prior cleanup work. There'll be information about how to contact us, and you can also take a look at some of the really cool pictures from this cleanup and the last one we had.
The great thing about being out here for a cleanup is that you get to get completely immersed, dirty, cold. I think a lot of volunteers, when they woke up this morning at 7 or 6, saw frost on the ground, and still you have a few hundred people show up. So nobody's afraid of a challenge or getting wet or getting cold or getting dirty. So wonderful day.